Donna Schwartz here from the Everything Saxophone podcast. We're at day 2, NAMM 2023. The NAMM 2023 podcast episodes are sponsored by Rovner Products. And I'm at the Victory Musical Instruments booth here. I'm with Melvin Quinones again. He has something new, and it's beautiful. And I'm going to let him do the talking. Hey, Melvin, good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me here, for taking the time,
of course,
interviewing me, talking about saxophones. There's the second time we do this, right? But we've known each other for many years. As you know, I've been researching saxophone for many, many years since I had the social network, right? And had the opportunity to work with many of my today competitors, but still friends. And through those collaborations and the big data I acquired from the network, I'm able to put some of this into production now. And the idea is that we can just make more musicians, create more musicians, and provide better tools for them, to make music. And we started 6 years ago with the Growling Sax brand. It was a very cool instrument. I continue to make it. We sell it really well. Awesome. And it seems to attract a lot like smooth jazz players,
pop players.
Yep. Is the coolness, factor. But we wanted to create saxophone also that will appeal to more traditional players, also classical musicians. Obviously there's a lot of great horns in the market, but many musicians seem to believe that there's only one or two brands that you can use for classical music, right?
Yeah.
So we developed a new saxophone model under the Victory brand, which is the main brand, and it's gonna appeal to a larger audience of sax players. You can play pop, but also would be more adequate for somebody looking for a classical sound.
Yeah. Well, as I was walking in, so we're before the show on the second day, and Mourinho Sax was playing a Dave Koz tune. I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, and he sounded great.
Yes,
he sounded, and it's going to be on one of the horns that he's going to show you in a second. So,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So when we talk about classical saxophone, there's never like a perfect sound. I mean, you look in Europe, it sounds very different than the U.S.
Yeah.
In the U.S. it's probably a little brighter, or I'm not a classical player myself, but I've watched enough. So we just wanted to have a saxophone that would appeal to that. One of the feedback that we get on modern saxophones is that they have very rich overtones, especially in the lower register, right? So it's not something that the classical player is necessarily looking for, even though the popular musician loves that, right?
Right.
So we wanted to have a horn that would be a little more balanced in that lower register for them. It's a beautiful piece of art, like we did with the Roar last year. If you remember the Roar limited edition, that won the Editor's Choice Award here at NAMM last year.
Yeah.
It included stock a pure silver neck.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference. That's where the sound starts, right? The neck is probably the most important part of the saxophone.
Yes.
Right? And nobody's including a sterling silver neck stock with a horn, And so we're doing the same thing now, and this is a special edition called a Revelation Series saxophone. And we got it a little close here, right?
Yeah, look at that.
It's featuring a beautiful silver with rose gold, and is incredibly well balanced. The ergonomics are very modern, very easy to play, very easy blowing. We had a few classical players try it yesterday, and some jazz players as well, and they just loved it. They said as out of everything they tried, and there's a lot of really good horns, right? So I'm not speaking of,
Sure.
But they just said this is probably the best they tried in the entire show.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is really stunning looking. It really is. Even last year, like the Roar, I was just like, wow. Yeah, this is just incredible. And this is just the Alto. So do you want to show also
we have the cursor panel. Before, I do want to show, it comes with two necks. So the stock neck will be brass with a rose gold. And then you have the flexibility, so you prefer different sounds, right? You can switch the neck, and it makes a huge difference.
You talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, this is where your sound originates, right?
Right.
This is what projects the sound, is the neck. Your sound starts really in your head, and then you project through here. You want to have a horn that is really well adjusted, so that it will be in tune and everything. but the sound really comes from here,
Yes.
right? So that's why we want to have the flexibility. Instead of buying 20 mouthpieces, maybe you have a horn that will allow you to switch your sound, with changing the neck, and maintaining the same reed and mouthpiece that you use.
Right.
That makes it easier, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, you have a lot of versatility with this. We're doing this with the alto, tenor, and the straight soprano, which is very rare to have the pure silver neck on a straight soprano as well. It's not something that companies really are doing right now, for the most part. And on the soprano, I got to show you this. One of the features that I was asked a lot was a high G, altissimo G, and the classical players seem to like that a lot as well.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's different than the jazz players. A lot of traditional jazz players don't even want the F sharp key.
Yeah, I know. For me,
Right?
I'm so not used to that from playing a Mark VI for a gazillion years.
Yeah. But the classical players, on the other hand, they feel that they get a much cleaner high G with that key.
Sure.
It made it easier for them to play it, right? So on the straight soprano, we were able to do that key as well.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and it also has the two necks.
Yeah. Good. Let's show that in there. Awesome.
Oh, here's a high G, high F sharp, and high G. I don't know if you can see it there, but
Yeah. Wow.
it's a beautiful horn as well. It sounds incredibly well. Hopefully, maybe we'll get Marquinhos here and demo a little before.
I just saw him a second ago.
Yeah.
He ran away.
Yeah.
No, but this is absolutely beautiful. Can you show the curved soprano too?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's available in straight, curved soprano, baritone, tenor.
Yeah, I'm looking
so
at
pretty
these.
much everything.
Oh my gosh.
Here's a curved soprano version of it.
This is what he was playing before when I was walking in.
Yeah.
Sounded really, really good.
So I know that a lot of people are gonna love this horn. A lot
Oh
of
my
people.
gosh, yeah.
I really. On the alto and the tenor, these are some features worth mentioning. They all have adjustable palm keys. Like every growling sax as well. Just to look up better for a better comfort.
Yeah, that's important for
yeah.
people with smaller hands or even bigger hands, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And let me see, what else are we missing? Oh, this is not something you see very often. It has a key guard for the low C sharp.
Oh.
So it protects it when you're putting it on a stand. It's very often unprotected.
Yeah.
Key. But we decided to put that key guard as well.
Because you have an engineering background too,
Yeah,
so you're thinking about all these things, and I'm just thinking too, with that key guard also, you don't want to get any dings, right? You don't want to knock the.
Yeah, just looking at it right here, depending
Yeah.
on which type of stand, if this was a little higher, it would probably be hitting that key.
Or yeah,
You
or
know,
it's
so
more at an
it's
angle.
at risk. So, sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just looking at the little details and making sure that you can make it better for musicians.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, where can people find your instruments?
Well, so visit victorymusical.com or TG Sax for the Growling Sax .com, and that there's a list of dealers where you can buy as well, Latin America and then the U.S.
Got it.
We sell also through Sweetwater.com.
That's
They
awesome.
started in Band and Orchestra about 2 years ago. We're doing really well with them.
Awesome.
And guys, visit victorymusical.com and check these out.
Are they available in Europe?
Not yet.
okay.
We're selling to some customers directly.
Got it.
We have shipped to Europe, to Asia,
Got it.
everywhere. But we still don't have a specific dealer there.
Got it. All right.
But
that's
we are
important to know.
expanding, and yeah.
Awesome. Great. Well, listen, Melvin, thank you for the time. He's been so busy. I had to catch him before the show. You have no idea.
Fortunately.
Everybody's over here trying out instruments. It just gets too noisy. But
Yeah.
but you know what? Before we go, I do have to show one more. I shared a picture yesterday. We just got to show that
Oh,
saxophone
yeah.
again. I'll hold on to this. And he's,
Ta-da!
we
The
go.
red lava.
there we go. Awesome. How cool looking is that?
So when I started the company, I had this idea that I wanted to create the Ferrari of saxophones, and I literally went to a car painting factory to use car paint. We tried many times until we got something that really adheres to the brass,
Wow.
right? So it wouldn't peel off or fall off. And we came out with the design. It's beautiful. People love this horn. This one this has like almost everything. I mean, it's got the rotone holes, the adjustable palm keys, double arm support.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It is a very serious horn. People may look at it like it's cool, but this is a really bad.
Yeah.
I can't say it right. It's a bat horn, man. You know, it's incredible. A lot of people have seen it already. 2 years ago, Schwartz Rock featured it on Music Inc. magazine on the front cover.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's right. How cool is that?
So yeah, it's don't be fooled. It looks cool, but this is a really, really incredibly playing horn.
It's not like, I always say this to beginner, students and stuff, especially the younger kids too. They think, oh, look at the pretty colored horns.
Yeah.
Often when you see those in Costco and whatever, they're not the best quality. They're not, but this is
it's not a gimmick.
Totally different.
It's a serious instrument.
It's a pro horn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally pro horn. And wow, that's awesome. That feels really good. Cool. All right. Well, Melvin, awesome. It was great having you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.